7 days ago, I decided to start a handyman repair business. And I want to update you on what I learned in these last 7 days, why I think this is still a great opportunity, and I'm going to share with you how much money I made in these last 7 days of my handyman business and a few things I got wrong and what I'm going to do better moving forward. My name is Jalal Wilson, and I started a handyman business called Fix It Today Columbia. And the reason why I initially started this handyman business before actually looking into it to see if it was a good idea was because what I saw in my area of Columbia, South Carolina, is inconsistency from service providers. I mean, sometimes we needed things done around the house. We would call, make an appointment. Sometimes they would come. Sometimes they wouldn't. Sometimes they would communicate. Sometimes they would not. And sometimes they wanted to charge so much to do something so simple, I just decided to do it myself. So I thought, hey, there is an opportunity because I can't be the only one experiencing this. So I decided to do something about it. Now, once I had made a decision, actually, I take that back. I had quite a few other projects and things going on. And I knew if I was going to do this at any at a high level, I was going to have to burn the boats. So, what I told myself was for 90 days, I can do nothing but this. And you're like, why only 90 days? I needed just a time frame that my mind would be like, okay, there's a finish line, there's something we can look at. Because if I would have just said for 1 year or 2 years, whatever the case, I would have started procrastinating. You have to know yourself, and I know myself. So I said for 90 days, I can do nothing else. All right. So the first thing I did was I made a flyer. Now, if you didn't see that video and you're stuck with how to make a flyer for your service-based business, I suggest you watch my last video because it walks you right through how to make a flyer. Now, why did I choose a handyman service-based business? Well, there's a few reasons. One of them is this thing is growing. It's not dying. We are living at a time where homes are getting older and people don't have the means to just run out there and purchase a new home. So they're going to want more repairs on the current home they have to keep it functioning and all of that. And now we are busier than ever. So most people or a lot of busy professionals don't have time to do the DIY projects. They don't have time. And so I thought about that. And I was like, okay, this is an opportunity. And also, if that weren't enough, seniors, I'm looking at this, seniors are going to be, it says by 2030, 1 in 5 Americans will be over 65. That is crazy. By 2030. So within 5 years, 1 in 5 Americans will be over 65. So that means these people want to stay in their homes as long as possible. So again, they're going to need upkeep and help to do that. I looked at an opportunity. We're switching, if you think about AI and everything going on with that, we're switching to, we want our houses wired for the future. So that means smart home wiring, putting in smart thermostats, smart door locks. All these different things are a smart opportunity. You like what I did there? I saw those as a smart opportunity to get in and start offering these services. And with people working from home, you kind of notice things around your house. Like, I need to fix that. Or, geez, maybe even that over there. Anyway, you start to notice things when you work from home. And also, I like repeat business. Home improvement, home service based businesses are repeat businesses. And if you can provide good customer service, you can show up when you say, you give people an easy way to pay, well, you can stay in business for a very long day. You like that? You like that? You see what I did there? I like that. Anyway, so those are the reasons why I decided to start this. And if I forgot this one. Labor shortage. There's not enough people who want to get out there and in somebody's house or drywall, a little patch, a little hole. There's not enough people. Everybody wants to do the internet thing and do the AI thing or be influencers. So there's not enough people like us that just want to pick up something. And whether you're service based, maybe cleaning houses, or it could be anything, cleaning houses, pressure washing, whatever your thing is, people are going to need it. So, all right. So, with that being said, now, after I made my flyer, I decided to put it out there in places like Nextdoor, Craigslist, Facebook. Actually, I haven't done Facebook yet. I'm going to do Facebook this week. I even did door to door, posting my flyers on people's door, and even posting my flyers on putting them on people's cars. Now, since I started, I have gotten 2 jobs. Yes, 2 jobs. And at the end, I would tell you how much money I made on those jobs and all of that stuff. But I got 2 jobs. Anyway, so here is the thing here's what I've learned from this last 7 days. Once my mind decided to focus on doing this one thing, I noticed a shift in myself. I know something about when you just decide to commit to something, you can there's a shift that happens inside of you, like a light switch goes on and you just start seeing things you didn't see before. I started seeing all types of stuff in my home that needed to be repaired. Projects. I actually wrote this down. In the last week, I have removed 2 wasp nests. I have cut some drywall, installed a piece of drywall in my bathroom ceiling. I have mud coated my entire upstairs bathroom, kids' bathroom. And all of these projects were all something I've known I needed to do for the last few months. But something about deciding that this is the path that I'm going to go down, I've thought to myself, have you ever seen the barber or the hairstylist who can cut your hair beautifully, but then their hair looks like crap? I didn't want my service-based business to be like that. I didn't want people to see that, hey, this guy is a handyman, but he's not even handy around his own house. So I started knocking things out. That was cool. But here goes the downside of that. What I was doing is I was knocking things out around my house, but I was not doing the things that would bring me more customers. And the reason being is I was a little scared. I hate to say it, but when you start something new, sometimes you're scared, especially if you started as many new things as I have in the past. And you're just like, man, people are like, another one? Another one? So I was a little scared that was going to be my experience. So I would do the things that were easy, but actually didn't make the most sense. I'll give you an example. I said I was putting flyers on cars. Yes, that sounds like a good idea in theory, but what would have been a better idea is to actually hand those flyers to actual humans, to actual people, and get to make that eye contact and just tell them, hey, this is what I do. Why? Because people can feel your vibe when you talk to them, and they can see you. They can, we instantly judge when we meet somebody. So when I just put it on a car, I'm robbing myself and I'm robbing that person of that moment to connect. So it was cool to say, yeah, I'm putting these out there. Look at me. But I know that it really wasn't going to be the thing that drove connection or drove potential business, especially in something like this where trust is major and I'm just starting out. So my job is to do things that actually build trust. All right. So I realized that. Another thing, and how I came to that realization is that I tracked my time for this whole last 7 days. I mean, what I did from the time I got up to what time I ate lunch, everything. I tracked it all. And what I noticed is that after 2:30 p.m., I was toast. Like my moves didn't make sense. And so what I learned from that is I need to do all of my outreach, all of my things like that prior to 2:30. Because at 2:30 I don't have the bandwidth to really focus intently on that. And that is plenty enough time if I actually focus on the high value tasks. So that's what I learned. I've got to focus on the high value tasks. And so for this week, I've already decided what my high value tasks are. So one of them is YouTube videos, but also going out and handing out flyers. So as soon as this video is over, I'm actually going to go hand out flyers to people. Now, I set a goal of 5 because this will be the first time I'm actually going to go hand them out and talk to people. So that's my goal. I may end up doing more than 5, but I'm telling myself something that's manageable so I don't talk myself out of it. Now, tomorrow it will be to post something visual, before and after picture of my work. And then another day will be following up with people, with my previous customers, or letting other people that I already know in my network know about my service. So these are just the couple days, and I'll report back next week how I did on those. But I mean, I have it all mapped out for all 6 days, so I got to do something every day. Now, I will do more than these, but if I do at least these things every day, I will have won the day. Now, the moment you have all been waiting for. You want to know how much money I made in my first 7 days of my service-based business. Well, the grand total is $300. And I made that $300 from 2 jobs. One was a bike assembly, and another one was a furniture assembly. It was assembling a bed, 2 dressers, and a bed frame, and like 2 little stools. Now we're going to talk about in another video what I learned from that experience, because I think it's important. What I'm going to do in this series, I'm not holding anything back. So I'm going to tell you the real lessons that I learned. But that'll be the next video. We'll talk about what I learned from my first job to my second job and what I'm going to do better in the future. But I just wanted to share with you what I learned in these first 7 days, how much money I made, and why I believe starting a service-based business is a great idea, because it's necessary. We're going to need these skills, and we're going to need more people willing to do it, because these houses aren't going to fix themselves, and people are staying in them longer. The inventory is getting older, so there's an opportunity. Now, we have to remember that part of this being an opportunity, this just doesn't apply to service-based businesses. It applies to whatever it is that you are doing. If you are providing a service, you have to believe that you have the skills. Your skills are currency, and it is time for you to cash in. And I gotta be careful because I don't want to accidentally hit my computer love. Anyway, I gotta go. All right, I gotta go hand out these flyers, and we'll see how that goes. 5. That's the goal. I gotta go hand out 5. But remember, your skills are currency. Let's cash in. You have skills. It's time to start sleeping on yourself and go out there and make some dough with the skills you got. Because time is not going to wait for you, and you got these skills. So why not get paid for your skills? That was a realization that I came to. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not get paid? And if you can deliver good customer service, you can actually do the work, and you can be trustworthy, the money's going to be there. But you got to do the things that you know you're supposed to do every day to drive the business. And I wasn't. So I'm going to correct that this week. I'm going to share with you how that's going, because I want to get better. I want you to get better. I want you to have the confidence to get out there and get it done. Let's earn.